Alright guys, Papa Pepper here. You may wonder why I look like such a weirdo today. Well, as it happens, I'm doing a Farmer G impersonation. Yeah. And interesting enough, that Farmer G impersonation had some excellent results, so I will show you a little bit of what I did. I'm in the midst of it, still got a long way to go, but we're going to show you a little bit about what happened, and then I'm going to keep kind of pressing on and do what I can while I'm actually here, because I don't get anything done here when I'm not here. So check this out. If you guys saw the depression of suppression video, you know that some people were suggesting things like using some animals to eat down some of the property. I've done that, using some heavy stuff like brush hogs and things like that. Did some of that before, but this time it was weed whacking. And I'll tell you what, this place, I found a bunch of things in my yard. And I've got to tidy things up, get rid of some things, kind of redo some things, and organize some other stuff. But check this out now. I've still got to go that way. But all of this is now open. This is probably one of the biggest changes in the area. All this was pretty big, so if somebody was doing clothesline, you couldn't even see them. But now you can. So, did quite a bit of weed whacking yesterday actually, so I have a different shirt on. And I'm going to do quite a bit more of it today. If I can get through this area, that'll be really, really, really good. And then of course some of the stuff just gets too tough. But you know, my root cellar build eventually has to be accessible or I'm not going to finish it. All this stuff though looks really nice too. Kind of nice manicured area now. And then same thing here. Leading up to the chickens, that's all down. This whole path up to the garden now. And I actually got a full load of mulch right now. Plus I had to bail all these buckets off of my trailer to run to town and get another one. So all this is kind of whacked down. Yeah, working on this next hugel mound here. So I was kind of have a drive-through up the middle between these mounds. So I'm gonna bring this one out a little bit wider, maybe today. Throw it on some logs, throw it on some other stuff. But all this too. If you guys saw my depression of suppression video, you know this thing was a wild, thick area before. I mean, even this. Maybe I'll try to insert a small clip where this is what's happening. You know, this is the drive-through of my garden, but I ain't been here to drive through it. Here's where I put in some sunchokes, right? That was my overflow. And then here's an area that really wasn't suppressed of what this area looked like before, but this is absolutely great. And then up in the garden too, I started whacking through some stuff. So just a matter of being around, making the time to do it, and it took a lot of time. Plus it was like 100 degrees yesterday. Or more. Could have been more too. But, and this whole mess kind of started whacking through. These guys are doing excellent. These wild passion fruit. Yeah, look at them. There's like so many green eggs everywhere. Pretty cool, huh, son? So I'm gonna try to kind of fight this back from these beds because this is getting crazy up in there. So got my work cut out for me today, but I'll tell you what, after seeing Farmer G's weed whacking video, I thought, yeah, good time to let him know he's not alone. He's not alone. And get my whack on. Look at that, guys. It's all weed whacked up now. Very nice. From the last video, the correct answers, no or yes. Either one would have worked for the first one. Hollow plastic tube is what I was growing the snake gourd in. Gardening in Gnome Town, Farmer G and the mess hall were all valid answers for question 3. And then question 4 was that it was over 4 feet long. So Blissful Acres Off-Grid Homestead. You're the big winner. If you answered all 4 of those questions correctly last time, you were in the running for a shout out in this video. Blissful Acres Off-Grid Homestead's the one who got it, so we're giving them a shout out, which brings us to this video. So the trivia from this video, who was I doing an impersonation of? What method was I using to do an impersonation of him? What was the video called where I was sad because of how grown up everything was? And what was one of the other options? I think I mentioned 2 other ways to kind of keep things suppressed, and it's one I use on the other side of my fence. You know, one of them I use on the other side of my fence. But what are one of the other options to kind of keep things knocked down that I mentioned in this video? If you know the answer to those 4 questions, leave them in the comment section below. I'll be giving one person who gets them all right a shout out in an upcoming video. Papa out.
As always, I'm Papa Pepper, and I'd like to remind you, don't post for free. If you'd like to be part of a revolution in social media, an economic power to the people where users can actually blog for cryptocurrency, then I'd recommend that you check out steemit.com and join the revolution. Papa out.